Okay, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're connecting from. This is your girl, Miss Remarkable, your one and only unstoppable, Vitus Lou. So, if you are new to this platform, this is your girl. So, you're welcome in. Of course, you've never ever seen me on a Thursday doing this thing, but I'm learning. When you meet great people, you have to do great things. When you meet people who get up at 4 a.m., you have to learn how to get up early. So I'm learning, and of course, you already see an amazing person on the screen. I was supposed to bring her later, but I didn't want to keep you guys in suspense. So I just like, why not? Just see the beautiful face, the amazing person. So I will never be here in life without people, and I so much believe life is all about the people you connect with. I'm one of those who believe totally in that. Like wherever you are in life, whatever you're doing, how happy you are is genuinely going to be part of the people you surround yourself with. And so I believe one of the blessings we all want is to connect ourselves with great and amazing people each day. We live in a time and season that a lot of times people want us to fake it to make it, want us to fake that we are always good. But the truth is, we are not always good. Sometimes you're down, sometimes you don't have things figured out. And I just have come to like that's why a peaceful place to be to accept that you don't have it or figure out, and also know people that genuinely are there to help you. So it's one thing to be in a position that you need help. It's another thing to be in that position that you know who can offer that help. So that's why I bring amazing people to this platform. People who are amazing and doing amazing things. So yes, with that talking for long. Let's just go straight to welcome an amazing woman who is with us is Miss Jane Danielle. She is super an amazing person as a human being. She's so jovial. For records, I met you first in an event in Dallas. I'm sure you may not remember, but I can just remember the energy. It was just like we met forever. Like that's energy that not everybody have in this country. Yes, not everybody have, and not only in this country, I mean in life. So I met you that day, and the energy was just so nice. Everybody like you were just so amazing with everybody. That's the first impression. They said first impression matter, and I kept it. So, by the way, guys, you're asking who is she? What does she do? Amazingly, what I love most about her is that she's a people person. That's the first thing. Number two is that she's a counselor. In this generation, it's easy for us to listen to people based on what social media have said. But I like to see the people who are like good at listening, able to see to listen to people, listen to what people are saying, not judging people from what they have not said or what you have assumed or you've heard from other people. So she's a counselor, she's a school counselor, and she is a wife, she is a mother to amazing kids, and she's doing amazing things in her community. And as someone told me, and I heard it from you too, like if you go to Ohio, you call her, everybody will know. Yeah, so I'm like, wow, who
The
thought?
whole of Ohio.
Like just Ohio, maybe Columbus, like just go to. I'm like, I heard it seriously from someone, and the other,
Really?
yes, and the other thing, you're like, most people know me. I'm like, okay, like most people around me. So what that was basically to tell you top personality. So guys, of course, we are going to have just an amazing conversation about life, and I encourage you wherever you're watching from, let's know. And this conversation is not for me, it's for everyone. It's an opportunity for all of us to improve ourselves, and also all of us to know what what people are doing out there. Sometimes you may be there thinking that, oh, my head is aching, what can I do? It could be a mother, you have some challenge, you want to know somebody who maybe has been through that. You may be like me, you're still single, you're still like, how be single? So that's why I just like to to be happy, be in the moment, to enjoy and learn from every opportunity. So with this being said, gone are those days that it's like only men could have serious conversations, by the way, or women is just about gossiping against each other. Gone are those days. And also gone are those days that men think when women are empowering themselves is for them not to be submissive. So they maybe we want to hear you talk about things like that. So welcome, welcome, welcome to this platform, and please be at home.
Oh my goodness, Brightest Low. I love that name, Brightest Low.
Yeah, I have some people who really, really love this name. That
Oh, thank you for all the wonderful things, the amazing things you've said about me. Um, if yeah, for those who know me, they know that I love to be around people. I love that's where my energy comes from. Just being around people, just being with people, and uh, there's a lot to life. Which, if you're not around people, you're gonna be you're gonna face many challenges.
oh,
So
wait.
that's the source of my energy. Somebody once said that if people were riches, I'll be very rich. So
You wish.
yeah, yeah. And again, once more, thank you so much. I When I first met you as well, I was very impressed. I was We met at the event you just talked about, and I saw a lot of determination in you. I saw the drive that you had in you. And ever since then, I've admired the drive. And you told me a little bit of your story coming from Cameroon, uh, not knowing that you were going to be who you are right now, not knowing that you can talk the way you're talking right now. But it's it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So I'm seeing you grow as a daughter, as a little sister. I see you grow, and I know that if you keep up with this spirit, you're gonna go places. So your spirituality, your drive, you're gonna empower so many people. So thank you for having me. And to all the fans out there, I am just here to share my story and hope my story would inspire somebody. And that um, usually when you listen to people, um, you gain one or two things from people, no matter who you're listening to. It could be a child. We learn from people every day. And I know this, I have this grandmother here who came and visited me while I was working on my farm, on my garden. And I showed her how to prune her jamanjama, her vegetables. And she argued with me. And when she went and tried it, she's like, I am 80 something years old. And I never knew this. So yeah, you learn from people all the time. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you
Liz.
so much.
And you said I'm a school counselor. Yes, I've been a counselor an educator for 24 years. So living Cameroon, I graduated from ENS Bambili. And when I came over here, everybody said nursing was the way to go. That's where the money is.
I know.
But I did not know math. I always skipped math classes, and I didn't like science either. So I didn't want to struggle, but I had a degree already. So I'm like, why throw that degree? Why not put it to use? So I went into education, and I love it. They have to be teachers. They have to be the people who make the money. And now, um, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely,
thank you so
guys.
much.
Know me if you know me very well, then you know definitely a lot of things I relate with her with. But also one thing I didn't mention is she's entrepreneur. So there's no way you can know me if you don't know that I'm entrepreneur. And when I talk about she like people, she's a networker. And People are ashamed to say they do networking. I do networking for a living. I know. So, by the way, Gwendolyn, happy to have you. Have some people
Excuse me.
connected. Please make yourself visible in the comment section. This is a discussion. Let's make it easy for everyone. If you want to join the screen at some point to share something, we will be very generous to share the link with you. So, it is a discussion. It's we talk. It's not
Mhm.
gender bias. It's not just for women. It's not just for men. It's for everybody. And if you see me connected with this, no, it's serious matter. But it's okay. So yeah,
Serious business.
one thing I've learned in life, which I wish I knew early, is understanding that the journey to success is different from the journey to happiness. So thing I did this morning is still going back to do a revision of what are the hormones when it comes to happiness. And one of my favorite of all time is dopamine. Dopamine is that hormone. People say they call it the happy hormone. That it's important. I say it's not the only hormone associated with happiness, but it's one
Mhm.
of my favorite. Why? Because it's something we all can easily activate. When
Mhm.
you sing for us, who like to sing, you activate that. When you do something that is rewarding, when they're clapping to you, oh, well done, well done. There's some hormones that are being that are being produced, and that hormone keep you young. So
Yeah.
when I see people who are not always smiling, people who are choosing to be where they are not supposed to be, where they are not welcome, I'm concerned. So
Mhm.
because I know you for a person, I know that most of the time I see you smiling. Life, all of us have challenges for me. I am not one of those who assume that some people have it all figured out. I know everybody has his or her own things he or she is trying to dot the I's or cut the T's. But in life, it's also been in the moment. So my question to you, knowing all the things you do, I'm not even sure I know all, but I'm saying about the ones I know. I'm really concerned to know like how do you as a woman, because there are some women also, let me give you some context. There are some women who once they get married, you don't see them even in church. There are women that once they get married, they don't have any other thing they are doing. It's only stay home. They don't have any purpose, they don't have any goal, they don't have any career, they don't have any outings, they don't like nothing going. But you, of course, you're in church things, you're in career things, you have your kids doing amazing things, doctors, you have your husband, you're still there showing up, you've been married for years, and you're attending all business events. Please, how do you manage them? How do you create time for all this? That's my first question for you. There's
Oh,
someone maybe out there say, "Oh, I'm too busy, I can't do it," or. So, how do you like manage all these things?
wow. That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question. First of all, you said you always see me smiling all the time. Yes. And like you say, life is full of challenges. So long as we remember that the weeping is only through the night and joy is going to come in the morning. So you also mentioned live the moment. What does that really mean? When those challenges come, when those difficult moments, times come, live through those times. Make sure you're taking time for yourself. You have a sad event, make sure you take time to mourn, get it out of your system. And when those happy events come, do the best, be the best you can. Some people stay in one state throughout. That's really going to weigh on you.
Yeah,
They dwell in their challenges. And all you have to also know that no condition is permanent. Everything comes and passes. So once that moment comes, live that moment and then move forward. Because if you don't have that ability to uh, snap yourself out of those challenges, out of those sad moments, you're going to be there. Your whole life is going to center around that. And what are you giving up by doing that? I'm not saying that it's ever easy. It's really tough.
yeah,
somebody who loses a loved one, somebody going through divorce, somebody, they, all these issues are always going to be there. And you just have to take time. That's a way of taking care of yourself. Be in that moment, but make sure you find ways. Do what it takes. Like you said, do what makes you happy and not think about what anybody is going to say. You're living life for yourself. So the most important thing you're always going to have to ask yourself is, what is my purpose in life? What did God create me to come and do here on earth? If, and sometimes it's so hard to identify what that purpose is.
True.
If you are a Christian, you have faith, you need to pray. You need to pray for God to show you what your purpose is. Everyone has a purpose. So, what is your purpose?
Mhm.
When you identify your purpose, you're going to be able to move through these challenges. You're going to be able to navigate these challenges. Like Lou said, I'm a mother of three. I had to take hard decisions. Every woman sacrifices for their kids. So you sacrifice certain things for your kids to be where they are. But at the same time, you don't have to neglect your social life. You have to have a well balanced life. Some of us delay things in life saying, oh, I can't do this now because my kids are still young. I can do this, I can do that. I'm going to do it at a later point in time. Sometimes that you're not able to have that opportunity at a later point in time. So, um, me, everybody who knows me, I love to dance. And I will find every opportunity to dance. Uh, I can't dance as much as I used to before because with the age, arthritis, the knees, you can't go ballet like you used to. But I, but I do what really makes me happy. Um, and one thing which I do is, and what I tell everybody is, you have to set boundaries. You have to set healthy boundaries. You cannot be everywhere all the time. You cannot be for everybody all the time. Those are things that I am learning the hard way. Because I'm a social butterfly, because I thought that it was my calling, but at the same time, that takes a toll on your health. So when I say set healthy boundaries, is know what to say yes to and know what to say no to. Um, you sometimes when you say no to people, they're going to be offended. If you're the type of person who was saying yes, yes, yes all the time, and all of a sudden you're saying no, they're not going to understand what is happening. But the reason is you have realized, and then that's another thing, self realization. You have realized that you need to take care of yourself for one reason or the other. It could be for a health reason, it could be for whatever reason. It could be goals that you set in life. And then that's another big thing. You have to set goals in life. And your goals, your priorities may have changed.
True.
And it's okay for the other people to know that these are your priorities now. And you're not going to be able to be who you were because your priorities have changed. You have different goals for yourself in life. And these goals might include losing friends along the way. It's still going to be okay.
It's gonna be
At
okay.
some point, they're finally going to understand, they're going to realize that it's a decision that you've taken. It is what is good for you. Yeah. So that's basically what I do to to have a balanced life. to be able to raise kids, take care of my family, take care of my husband, and take care of my entire family. And um, taking care of maybe one of the reasons I'm like this is because I have 31 brothers and sisters to come from. Yes.
Woo! Wow.
uh,
Let's say
so
people have that. That's a village.
yes, that's a village. So some of my sisters have passed on to glory, but my father had 5 wives and um, 31 children. So
Oh.
I have, and I'm somewhere around where I know the older people, I know the younger people, the younger generation, but I know the older generation. And um, so one of the reasons why I stay active, engaged, busy, and being able to balance all of this and work as well. Work is challenging. I and many people ask me, "Oh, you're a teacher in this country. How do you do that?" Because the dynamics are different. The kids in Cameroon are different. The ones over here are different. Again, it is just about patience. You have to have patience in everything in life. You have to have patience dealing with people, patience dealing with your family, knowing that people have different personalities and you just have to figure out these personalities and be able to live with them. Like my pastor said in church, that you should be the thermostat wherever you go and not the thermometer.
The moment.
Yeah, you should be the thermostat. That means that you should be able to regulate a situation. You should be able to um, find a common ground, make people find a common ground. So yeah.
Wow,
Thank
thank
you.
you. So I want to acknowledge people in the comment section. Thank you so much, Nicolene. I'm just going to read just a few comments for those because some people we are streaming live both on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
My brother delving in the comment section. I see some people connected. Please, guys, let's know all of you watching and what where you're watching us from. Thank you for all those who are active in the comment section. So Nicholas says set healthy boundaries, and I just want to say yes, you really touched the point I wanted to hear. And I know it's not just me. As I told you, to be honest, I have been a very pendant, very book conscious for a long time. And sometimes you get like I remember the times I had my highest GPS were the lowest moment in my life. I was totally unsatisfied. I remember
Hmm.
like I cried. And till today, ask me why I cried, I don't know. I just felt the load. So I had known that you can get some success, but you won't be happy. It will not guarantee your happiness. So I also
Hmm.
ask this question for a lot of mostly women that find themselves in position like they are not growing, they are not happy, that they
Hmm.
outside think everything is going on well. So what can we do to make sure that we are genuinely happy, not posting happy, looking happy, but we are actually happy. And you said
Hmm.
things that those are things that have helped me in person. Which if you see my state, I don't know. I would say maybe she saw my status, but I because I know it. But one thing I've really emphasized lately is finding purpose.
Hmm.
Finding purpose is something I've come to discover. That's the truth with every person who's genuinely happy is finding purpose in where you are, what you're doing. Once you find a purpose beyond just money, once you know why you are there at that time, in that situation, in that marriage, in that why you have this particular kid, why this is not, why you are not yet married, just being able to find purpose, you will be genuinely happy, learning
Hmm.
and using whatever resources you have in a different way. So I said, whoever finds purpose, mission works differently. It's something I have discovered and it's the truth.
Hmm.
So when you set purpose, and Also, that's a fire. Like people like you keep working, keep looking for better things, keep improving yourself, because it's easy to say, oh, she's a school counselor, because I know the process. So I know you must be self-disciplined to say, okay, though I'm a wife, I have children taking care, I still have to get these degrees, I still have to have these certifications, I still, you get what I'm saying. So it's not just like, oh, I just sleep, I have a degree in this. No, there's
Mm-hmm.
that people don't see. And a lot of people, when they get some things, they get satisfied. They don't push further. So when I see people like you, that's something I learned from. Like, she has this, but she's still doing more work. She's not like, I'm satisfied. Yes, it's okay to be contented, but not like put it as a final point. That's, I don't know if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
finding purpose, I think that's one of the drive you have that every other person who doesn't have it to find it, like finding purpose. As you said, also, you said something amazing that it's not easy to find it. I agree. I agree. Sometimes you don't even know what that purpose is. And that's where for me God really comes important. And I'm happy you mentioned that. For me, I don't know how people without God get it, but for me, that's how I get it. It's seeking God's face. And you see sometimes
Mm-hmm.
zone out everybody. That's my best time. Some people think that's your lowest moment. That's the best time. Most people also are introverts. That moment you can be on yourself, that's where you have clarity. That's where you find peace on things that are not adding up. That's where you can
Mm-hmm.
hear, as opposed to everybody giving opinions. So another thing that you said that I would say, oh my God, I wish I knew early, setting boundaries. It took me the whole of 2022. My whole goal for 2022 was learning how to say no. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many people, Daniel, happy to have you and everyone. So I don't know how many people can admit that it's difficult to say no to some people. Most of these people that you think that they close one, and they always one thing that you know is even not something you can give, like even at your expense. Let me give an example. I normally have never ever loved alcohol. Like, I never love, and I don't like, unlike people who don't take alcohol but they like juice. I don't like things with added sugar. So mine is a little bit complicated. Like, so, but I had these friends
It's
that we
really
took,
complicated.
yes, have meetings, like all the meetings are like, oh, we're going, let's have discussion on meet on Zoom. They're like, no, let's meet here, and you're paying transport from one. So for me to say no to them used to be so difficult. So that was one of the point I had to learn how to say I don't take alcohol. We just make it a final. Like, it's not like I'm trying. I had to learn to say no. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to come to this point to say, I don't take alcohol because it doesn't even go well with my body. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't for me. It doesn't, like, if I just inhale it, I will know. I'm just going
And
to know. So it took me a while to accept it. So boundaries is something that I find that gives you peace, gives you direction in where you're going. So I'm so grateful that you shared that with us. And I just hope those who are watching, you also can learn. That's why I'm just also sharing that it's my own personal experience. Like, talking about happiness, it's just saying no. That boundary, my only practical is saying no used to be so so difficult to say. I remember when I was in secondary, no, in high school, girls' school. I have people that will have things in their trunk and they'll come and ask me. And I know they have more than me, I'll still give them. I have a friend walk to me and like, Lucy, you have to learn sometimes to just say no to them. Because I know these people have it, but they don't want to use theirs. They're coming to ask me because also I don't like argument. So
mm-hmm.
to prove, like, just take and go. So I could still say no and the person will go. But I will not say no, I would instead give at my detriment. So yes, it's important to say that that's the only way you can, for every purpose driven person, I believe you must learn to say no. If you have a purpose that is bigger than people's opinion, you must reach that point that you must learn to say no. And another thing that has worked for me now with calls, I don't pick calls from everybody. And just imagine the level of peace I have. The people that please just WhatsApp. And also after a certain time, there's no conversation with some people. It's like, just text me, we're gonna talk the next day. So, and I just believe once we get to this point, your level of peace, dopamine, achieving, even doing this thing, you have some more happiness.
Yeah, I'm glad you say once you get to this point because it comes with maturity, it comes with age. Um, a lot of times we learn as we grow older. So
Yeah, so I have my next question to you. So, but thank you so much because purpose, boundaries are the two things. So, guys, in case you don't get anything, how can you do whatever you plan to do? The goals is definitely you must have a purpose that is your drive, something that drives you. Even time that you don't feel as to do it, you need that inner drive. And for every purpose being persists, that purpose, the why. Though some people say, yeah, your why you're doing it. That why is, if your why is bigger than the shallow things of life, trust me, you always keep going. Life is never easy. Don't mind. People want you to feel like people have it out. Nobody has it figured out or has everything figured out. So, okay, my next question to you is another thing, mostly when it comes to lady, at first ladies were known to be professional gossipers. Gossip, gossips, right? Professional gossips, and they say when guys meet, they talk idea. When ladies meet, they just gossip and talk about ways to bring down themselves. I'm totally not one of those who agree on that, but I will say yes in the yes. Okay, thank you, Ben Zama. Oh, Uncle Ben, happy to have you connected. Yeah, he says finding purpose is just like financial literacy. You hit the nail on the pot. That's the next thing we're talking about, by the way. That's my next. A lot of times people have seen me talk about financial literacy, and the assumption is like some people body ask me, "Lucy, how many millions do you have in your account?" Of course, is a question to tell you the person don't take you serious, right? It's not really the person wants to know. But it's important for asking my question to say, I personally got that purpose and that assignment to talk about financial literacy from experience, not because I had money. From so many experiences, not even one. I remember this day I went to a hospital. I just went to get some drugs, and I didn't have the problem of I couldn't afford. But I meet this young boy who was with a mom, and this boy, the doctor has requested for this child to be admitted. But the mom decided to instead go to buy an over the counter drug and take the boy home. And the nurses were having a conversation of, "Oh, this doctor." So I heard everything basically from the nurses' conversations, not from the boy. Like they were just standing in front of me. Then the nurses were there talking. Oh, this, they always have conversations going on. Oh, this boy did this. So the story is that for me, what I learned from that day is that because I was also very oriented about being part of those helping in the medical sector, because I totally believe at that time that the way to help people have the best health and improve their health is being part of the team in the hospital. But that day, what I learned is the fact that there are people who transition just because they didn't have money. So I clearly asked myself that what happened now to this kid who is going home. Of course, when the doctor say you are admitted, means the condition needs more attention. So I really asked myself that what happened now to this kid? If this kid can, they'll say, is this health condition? I said, no, it's because they did not have money. That was one. Then I had the opportunity to work in a hospital. And somehow you have relationship with patients. Most where you collect the samples and you're going to analyze in the lab. So I was working in the lab, so they will come and take samples and rounds and those things. So, and I have this patient that was sick, and nobody passed to visit the patient. He had no family member, and this person was to be referred. And this person doesn't even have money to pay the basic bill of where the person was and had to be referred to a bigger hospital. And the question is even transportation the person did not have. So that's where I definitely knew clearly that sometimes the issue is not a health condition, but it's a financial means to get what the person needs. It could just be about let me say appendix, right? But you don't have the means. And it's not like in the US. This so is for context. This is from Cameroon. This is an experience I had way back in Cameroon. So it's not in the US. In the US, we have most people have health insurance from work, but this is not the case in Cameroon. is totally different. So for me, those are some of the things that, of course, the list is so long. If I have to list mine, it's going to be so, so long. So basically, my question to you is, why do you also really, because I see you're also one of those who really talk and advocate for financial literacy and personal development, those two things. Why do you advocate for those two things?
Yeah. um, you know, so it's all about women empowerment, right? So financial literacy uh, for women is very critical. It's crucial. Financial literacy is crucial for everybody, but for women, it's even more important. Let me take us back in the days in where we grew up. Most of us on here, or some of us on here, where we grew up in Cameroon, where the woman was stay home. She was the homemaker. She was the wife. But if you went, if you looked at it critically, you're going to realize that she was the backbone
Correct.
of the family. So the the man made the money, but she was a greater manager of the money. And even though she was staying at home, she was the homemaker, housewife, but she was also an entrepreneur most of the time because she worked on her farm and she will farm and sell and contribute heavily financially. So it is this notion that is evolving into the woman of today. That's a woman that is so dear to me who always told me um, her situation. So um, her situation was it it said if you give money to a woman to keep, she'll multiply it and give it to you. And um, this particular woman, she struggled and she was selling peanuts, just doing little things, little jobs to survive. But then the husband was the breadwinner, and they didn't have a house. They didn't have their own plot. They were renting. And she told me if she did not stand her ground, they would not be in a house. They would not own a plot. They would not. So the man collected his money, paid school fees, and then just squandered the rest. So when they had the Njangi, she just followed and said, okay, we're taking this money, we're paying on a plot, um, we're purchasing this plot, and that's where they are today. I say that to say um, women are a backbone in a family. So in today's woman, it's still the same thing. Even if you are a stay only be for a period of time. So um, the better managers, like I say. So in order for them to be to do what they do well, they need to be well equipped. They need to understand finances. They need to understand how money works. So in order for them to multiply this money, which the woman back in the days did not have a lot of knowledge about. Oh, oh, we got interrupted.
No, you're
Okay.
good.
She didn't know how to grow her money, but today financial literacy is very critical for everybody, like I said earlier, and for the woman. So the most important thing is how does money grow? Does she know how money grows? Does she know where to put her money so that it will grow for her and not be interrupted in the money market? Does she have accounts where she can contribute to the family? She can contribute in sending her children to the best schools without the children taking on a lot of debt, uh, without causing a lot of strain in the family. We know that life is not a guarantee, like we said earlier. Does she have any accounts that can replace their income if something were to happen? Given that a lot of people don't have financial education, where can she go for that? There are a lot of resources. There are a lot of places where she can go to find that information. There are a lot of books that she can read. There are a lot of uh, professional, um, financial professional people out there. Um, you and I are learning how money grows, and we are on a crusade of making everybody understand that it is important to understand your finances. It's important to know where to put your money so that you're not losing your money. So I don't know if that answers the question, but
Yeah, it
that's a
really
little bit
does.
of, yeah,
Thank you so much for that great answer. I'll come to you in 1 minute, but I want to also
yeah.
say thank you to Uncle. Let me see. Uncle Zama, as we call him. So he said something in the conversation. He said finding purpose is just like financial literacy should be taught, and he said should be taught in school. I totally agree with you. I'm always an advocate for that part, that financial literacy and every other thing concerning real life, not just choice, should be taught in schools. Daniel, thank you for joining. Daniel says, yeah, so I think our purpose in life should always overcome the difficulty of us making certain decisions,
Hmm.
meaning decisions we make should rhyme with our purpose in life at any given point. Thank you so much. That's a biochemistry, a biochemist. So
Hmm.
that's one of my that helped me a lot. So I used to just go to him and get his notes because he was one year ahead of me. So a lot of friends used to like, why you always in Crocodile State? That's the reason. I always go and take all his notes and his past questions. Yeah, thank you, Daniel, by the way. So you said some amazing thing, and I was turning around looking my person Bible card from somebody from church yesterday. So we're having a good conversation when my mother's in church, and we're talking about the gaps when it comes to the different generations. What you are, you said something that some people in this generation may not understand because they're looking the Achalugos, the Odogus. You understand what I mean? They're looking at Achalugos are just not going to do anything. You understand? They don't understand. They don't have to stress, but they don't understand the foundation of the Achalugos. So I'm happy that you start from that foundation that I observe. And for me, I think I'm between a lot of generation in terms of observation because I've spent a lot of time with my grandmothers, grandparents. So you said something that I want to really say thank you again is the fact that the mothers and the women are the backbone. And another thing you said, they are good managers. And it's also in a book that I love, Smart Women and Rich. The author emphasized on the fact that women are better managers than men. But he says most men will not agree, and it's the truth.
Okay, great. I didn't even. We need to find that book and quote it and let
Yeah,
everybody see it.
I have even the hard copy. Smart Women and Rich or Finish Rich.
Hmm.
Check it. Finish Rich. Smart Women Finish Rich. So I personally am learning. So as I learn, just like everything, I learn things in biochemistry. I'm not the person who is theoretically oriented. I like to practice it in my own real life. Same as food science. I learned that okay, this food you should cook it like this, does this. So I apply in real life. Oh, these foods have these antioxidants. I go and start looking for that food. So it's the same thing when it comes to finances. There are just a lot of things that I believe the Gen Zs may not understand. They may not understand that mothers, though they are sitting at home, they are always business oriented. Naturally, that's how our mothers are, because the Gen Z now maybe want to just do the nails. So that's why I say I'm happy you mentioned that, because that was my observation. So when people say, "Oh, my mother is a housewife," some people may think that housewife just means she sat at home, she just took care of her kids. She did not know. All the mothers I know growing up, which is something I reflected between yesterday and today, like the list of different mothers I came across with, they all had a business. And you mentioned they all had a business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
And
for me,
when they,
that's where I talk about, that's where I have the entrepreneurial idea from. Like, as a woman,
mm-hmm.
some point you will not have the time to be talking in and out. You need to have your own business going. So for me, that is where my primary idea of a business is, the picture I saw growing up.
Yes,
Now,
yes. And when the, sorry, when you can, you, I saw my late mom's ID or birth certificate or whatever. When they asked for occupation, it was housewife.
that's why exactly. Yes, mom has that housewife.
Yeah, yeah, they were housewives.
So a lot of time people don't understand, mostly from the African context, what that housewife entails.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And mostly
So
if
they thought the
you're a
housewives were the housewives of today.
Christian, yes, and
Yeah.
mostly if you're a Christian housewife, is even deeper, because you are the spiritual covering more than even if your husband is a pastor. You are the real person doing the kabosh kabosh. So yes, so that is just to say, guys, if you're watching us, be it a man or a woman, it's just to have a picture of things to say. Even if your wife decides to say, or your girlfriend decides to say, "I'm sitting home," give that person opportunity to grow, to find him or herself purpose, what the person can do. Also, sometimes people want to impose. I think that is also another challenge that people have. And also, it's good to say, now looking at the standards we had growing up, there are some things that we genuinely can see that, oh, this area was what makes it more hard for them. So yes, because they are chalugos this time, don't need to stress. I agree with you. But now, what are you doing different? Are you going steps backward or are you going steps forward? That's when knowledge now come into play. You cannot know a knowledge gap when you don't know the basics. So till we are able to understand, where are we, like where are we in this generation, where are we this time, where are you also specifically, for me that's what matters. When I get up each day, I tell people I'm honestly not concerned about what's going on in everybody's life, in every news. What I'm focused is, what am I supposed to do each day? That is the only question that matters to me each day, is what am I specifically supposed to be doing. And I believe that's where financial literacy comes very handy, because if you put together the things you have to do, some of these things are going to be things that are going to take off your bills. Some of these things are going to take off your bills. And sometimes as women, once we get to a relationship that the man is able to take off these bills, sometimes we tend to neglect ourselves. So that's why I think the emphasis should be on women, because some women, though, yes, we know our mothers, they were good housewives that did not just focus on cooking food and serving food, as some people will emphasize on that part. But they also were very knowledgeable. Not if some of them were not even that educated, but they were very knowledgeable about some things in a way that sometimes I ask myself, how did they get this information if they were
Mm-hmm.
not educated? But some of us are so educated, but we are not knowledgeable. Two different.
Mm-hmm.
You can be very educated, but not knowledgeable even about the things you study.
Mm-hmm.
Because the
Because we don't know, like you say, we don't know how. So we don't know what else to do. If you um, are in a situation where um, you don't have multiple streams of income, back home, it was so easy. You can easily do something. But being in this country, sometimes it's hard. Some people want to be financially literate. Some people want to grow their money. Some people want multiple streams of income, but they don't know how. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to invest in. They don't know a type of business to do. So this is one of my whys. This is the reason why I became a licensed financial professional. So that I could educate myself and educate people around me and educate my family. Because, like, um, our brother Ben said, um, they don't teach financial literacy in schools. I work in a high school, and financial literacy was almost eliminated. So they had a course called financial literacy, but it is only one semester. For your 4 years in high school, you only take half a semester of financial literacy. What can they really teach you in half a semester, and what is really taught? What is the information that is taught in schools for financial literacy? Are they is it an equal opportunity? Are they giving the students the information that they need to know? So that's the biggest question. So for the interest of time, I think, yeah.
So thank you so much. So guys, of course, we don't want to keep you all here too long. So we are going to say that there are a lot of things that to be said, but this is basically
Mm-hmm.
just the first of these videos. We are going to have them regularly. So you guys will mark the face, and we want to keep her right. Do we all agree? Thank you so much again. But before you go, I still have a question for you though.
Okay.
Yeah, I still
Okay.
have a question, but you definitely did a great job answering that. So financial literacy is just the fact that we know that we accept that we have a lot of gaps, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just what are we supposed to do? How are we going to know what we're supposed to do if we are not reading? If we are because sometimes we read only. I for one, I'll be able to say I read a lot of science books. I just started reading financial books. Then I realized there were things that genuinely I didn't know. So it's just that, ooh, really? This thing exists, it's like this. So that curiosity, that's why I keep reading books, by the way. And guys,
Mm-hmm.
just to say one thing that can change every human being is reading books. People have a lot to say, but sometimes the people who say all they say, when you sit them down, ask them the questions, they will not be able to answer you. So my next question to you is like, what are your thoughts about women who say their husband has it all figured out? And they don't need to empower themselves because as we said mostly it's mostly down.
Wow.
So let me give a little bit context of why I say this. I've had friends, close, very close friends, who were not able to get to college just because their mom transitioned and their mom was very wealthy. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I knew, but I can't still wrap my head around what exactly happened, that their life just changed immediately their mom transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also had situations that people, their parents are alive, but one got sick. And because this parent got sick, the life of the kids and everything totally changed. And so for me, that's why I'm asking you this question. So if you want to say my
Mm-hmm.
husband has it figured out, then I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to think about it. I don't need to know anything.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about this?
Mm-hmm. So that statement, my husband has it all. I don't need to worry about anything. It's I want to look at it in several ways. I want to give those women the benefit of the doubt. That okay, is it because they're not able to work? Is it because they have to be housewives? They have to stay at home and raise their kids? Or why is it that? If it's just in plain, simple terms that you marry a very rich man and you say, oh, there's no need for me to work because my husband has it all. I would say that those women that are saying that is because they lack financial education. They lack financial education, and secondly, they're not in touch with realities. What do I mean? Again, there is this saying, this African proverb that says, you educate a woman, you educate a nation. So you got that education so that you can take care of a nation. Your husband might have it all, but you have things to take care of. You have financial responsibilities. Your husband might provide all these needs, might take care of all your needs, but there's certain things that that money is not going to go above and beyond. First of all, I don't want to be prejudiced here that, again, why did you choose to stay? Why are you not working? Is it because your husband is taking care of your financial needs? And then you said something from the beginning. Financial knowledge is financial empowerment for the woman.
Yeah.
So does the man not want the woman to be financially empowered so they can remain subdued? I don't, they can remain obedient or, okay. So all of that, that's the politics that is involved in all of this. But if you are financially savvy, you know, and I said you were not in touch with realities. So, um, do you know the financial situation of your husband? Do you know what happens if something happens to your husband? Life is not guaranteed for everybody. You just give instances where one person transitions and then things happen. The rest of the family is in chaos. So, have you taken care of those things? Do you know those things? Do you know what can happen to your husband? And if you know what can happen to your husband, have you figured out how to protect your life, the life of your children? Have you made sure you're able to maintain that standard of living that you're living right now? If you're something were to happen to your husband, if you have not figured out all of this and you just think that you have it all, that's what I mean by you're not in touch with realities. Know what probate court means. If you don't know what probate court means, you need to find out if uh, your assets are protected, because probate court is a situation which I am passionate about this because I go around talking to so many people who have no idea what probate court is. Probate court comes in when one person passes, that person's assets are frozen. They become whatever they own, that becomes their estate. That has to go to court. And it takes about 2 to 3 years for the person's money or whatever is left to be released for that family. That's why some people could have been so rich, could have it all, and then when they transition, they pass away, they end up on a GoFundMe because they did not figure out what was going to happen if they close their eyes, if something happened to them. They did not take care of their families, they didn't create a trust, and they pass away. All their accounts are frozen, and their wives cannot even get into those accounts. So these women who think that they have it all, uh, you don't have it all until all these things have been figured out. So if you need to know more about this information, contact a licensed professional, a licensed financial professional like myself and like Brightest Lou and some other people who are on this call, and they will educate you more. So again, that statement is loaded and it can be seen in several ways. Thank you.
Thank you. So I totally agree. So guys, this is also say sometimes we play a lot. That's how I see this thing. Sometimes we, I always say this one thing is also so being in a choir or being in choirs. You go to different events. You go to weddings. You go to funerals. You go to you sympathize with people, but sometimes you also learn from these realities. And personally, I've learned from a lot of events that I attend. Some people say I don't go out, but the same people don't know that my grandmom called me Waka Waka because she said, yo, but this is also say, life is not like nobody knows exactly tomorrow, and nobody is not like scripture. People who are Christian will say, No, we are strangers. No one knows the day nor the time. I'm like, when you say things like that, it's also telling you that make the best of each day. That's just my point. Make the best of each day. Don't assume every someone have it figured out for you. Mostly when you've not had that conversation. Sometimes just even just to have conversations. You can say, "Oh, this person is my husband." Your husband beneficiary for all the assets is the sister, is the brother, is the mother. It's not you that so people have divorced, people your maybe disabilities and many other things, health issues come in. Just being aware, having conversation. What if you see what can we do? Do we have things in play? Just have those vague conversations is important so that we don't just because that's the only
And
thing we can avoid some or minimize some shock. Life is happening. I'm talking from a lot of people are going through things even as we are talking now like this. Some people they are even in marriages that they don't want to be there. But the question is where will I be stay?
yeah, but then you just, as you said, have conversations with your husband. Okay, what is going to happen when this happens? True. Yeah, it's good to have those open conversations. But in our culture, it's a taboo.
I get you.
It's a taboo. So if you start asking your husband these questions, they're gonna be like, okay, you think I'm dying? When I'm when so they're gonna find it. I mean, it's the conversation doesn't flow very easily in
Uh-huh.
our culture than it is in the Western culture. So those people already take care of those things. But you, this woman who says that you have it all, make sure you're able to carry out those conversations. And once that is figured out, then you can say you have it all. But I am, the interest of time, like I said, I appreciate you having me here.
Yeah. So wisdom and everyone, thank you all for this for joining us and thank you so much, Auntie Jen, as I call you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been the first one. I would definitely never ever wanted it to be this long, but I thought it was good to keep you a little bit long.
It was great conversation.
So yeah,
Yes.
I'm happy you were open to answer all my three questions I had for you. By the way, so
Thank
normally I was
you.
going to surely with just like the spirit was leading. So
Okay. Yes, I hope that I
so
was able to help someone out there, and
I
I
hope
hope that
so.
we all learn every day. So I'll be happy to follow up with the comments in the sections so that we can um, improve or have these meaningful conversations. Thank you so much.
Thank you a million times. And guys, please send her some hearts. Thank you, Francine, for joining. She says very thank you so much to have you, sis. So, guys, this is not going to be just some of us having this type of conversation. We just wanted to initiate something that should be a norm in our conversations as women, as men, as humans. Sometimes we leave serious conversations like this only when things are critical. So if you go like to funeral homes, conversations like this will take. When somebody have lost a loved one, we'll have these conversations. When
Hmm.
you understand when there's a divorce going on, this conversation will step in. So
Yeah.
let's have these conversations. Let's make them a norm. As she says, it's a taboo in some community. And I'm one of those people who that's why I'm creative and independent minds. Just in case you don't know the face behind creative and independent minds is the face. So this is part of what creative and independent minds do. It's not being racist or being feminist or whatever people see it extreme. No, it's just being realistic.
Yes.
To see
Yes.
in life, you are a human being first. Yes, it's good to have people around you that are helping you in your life journey, but don't put all your responsibility totally on another human being who is also living by chance like you, who is also living by grace like you, and like a grass can be cut down at any time. So thank you again a million times. Oh, Uncle Ben has been here throughout. Thank you, Emmanuel, for joining, and Auntie Jane, I think she had to leave the network. But again, I just want to say a big, big thank you, and I hope we will have more people. And Uncle Ben, I'm going to get to your inbox. Definitely, I want to hear from you because you also are so amazing. Okay, I think maybe it was network. So, Auntie Jane,
Sorry
happy
about
to
that.
have you back. Do you have like a take home message for whoever have listened to this conversation? And before your take home message, please, are we going to have you back anytime?
Of course, of course. This
Thank you.
was,
And
I
yeah,
think your questions were very great, very meaningful. There was a lot that could be said. I think each of these questions would have can actually have its own session. So, um, yeah, I just appreciate everyone for listening and just to understand. And just my final thoughts will be, hey, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to understand what our purpose is and not be guilty when we want to pursue our goals in life that do not align with other people's goals, and learn to say no, even to your own kids, to your husband, to whoever. You have to take care of yourself. You have to nourish your body. You have to enrich your soul. You have to uh, stay faithful. Let your faith be bigger than your fears. There are a lot of things that you can be worried, you can be scared of, but know that if you have faith in God, know that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be well. And I appreciate everybody. And thank you so much, Lou. And I like your determination. I like your ambitions, your goals, and I wish you success in all you do.
thank you so much. And again, I'm so blessed to have you. You know, it's one thing to have people you call that you know. I know that if I call you, you see my missed call, you always call back. You're one of those. I appreciate that. Even when
Thank
you're
you.
at your meetings, I know you pick my call. So it's a blessing that I never take for granted. And I'm really humbled and I'm grateful for that. So thank you also for taking this precious time. I know you just left from a meeting and you joined us here to have this conversation. And it's really a good start for all of us. I'm learning. So definitely I have learned a lot and I know I'll keep learning more from you. Also want to appreciate everyone in the comment section that even though you're not on screen, I'm seeing all your messages. For those who know me, I go back, listen to the videos to still learn more, and I also read the comments. Yes, I had that time. So sometimes I'm just lying on my bed, sometimes I'm just, but I will do my best to learn from everything you've said in the comment section. So though I may not respond to everything now, I just want to acknowledge that I see you, I hear you, and I read your comments. So we are open to have more people on the screen. Give me your program, I will work with it. Let's have this environment that people can come and get something without being, they don't need to pay, knowing that it's for everybody, it's open. It's not for a particular, you may see black faces here. So why only black? Please, if you're white, come on. I don't judge people based on their skin color personally. I judge people based on their energies. So if you have that positive energy, then this is a good conversation. But you want to add to the complexion on the screen. I will openly and happily welcome you. If you think, why are there only ladies up here? Please, Uncle Ben and every other person, you're invited to the screen. So it's not supposed to be just women. We want to have this. I said I want this conversation in the next generation to be rolling with in homes. It should be a comfortable topic people should be talking about. Men should be open to ask their wife, what do you think? What are the plans? What do we have in place for this? There should be that freedom. It's not marriage is not slavery. Neither is anything, you know. So I just believe we should. I know there are people who are already in that level. I must say that there are people that are already mature to that level, but I know it's still a difficult thing in some homes to come up with some conversations, and some kids are still going, not knowing some things that we didn't know, but they should know. There's some basics you should know. You should know basically the basic difference between assets and liability, not just in exams, but in practicality. That is, those are some of the things I'm talking about. You should know the different ways to brand your own self. You know, branding is not something you should do only for a business, but you should do it for yourself. Everybody is a product, so we should be able to market ourselves in better ways, knowing that your voice matters. It's part of the personal development. knowing that you have to also know where to use your voice, set the boundaries. So thank you so much, Auntie Jane. I definitely don't want to waste your time again. So again, guys, maybe Auntie Jane, are we keeping same time?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, same time
Um,
next week, but trust us, we are going to try to keep it shorter. This was the first day, and I had to make sure that since the spirit was leading in a good direction, I had to make sure that I asked her some questions that I had in my list. Okay, thank you. Yes, bye bye, Auntie Joe. We are coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody.